Hey everybody, I'm so excited. I finally picked up a Blackstone griddle. This is my first griddle ever, a real one at least. This is the Blackstone 22-inch Adventure Ready because I don't have a lot of space in my rear deck here. But I was able to move some things around and carve out this little corner for this guy right here. So far, you can see it looks a little wet there. I've washed it with dishwasher soap, some dish soap and some water. And it's nice and clean and rinsed off. You can see that I've leveled it as well, so make sure you get one of these. And you can see there are some marks here, but I think that's where these legs actually come down, so that's why there are some marks there. But I did notice the corners have some slight imperfections as well, and I'm hoping these go away as I season this and get it ready to go. This is what it looks like. And so far, I'm liking what I'm seeing. In terms of assembly, this took me no more than 10 minutes really, because these legs and the stands are already assembled. You just have to, set the height and tighten it. And the only assembly really is 2 screws to put on this piece right here. And then there's this drip pan that just kind of hangs there but on its own. So there's not a lot to do there. I also chose to install this adapter right here. It comes with 2 adapters, one for the small propane tanks and this one is for the big traditional 20-pound ones, which I'm going to go with. In terms of this hood, I do feel like when I'm closing it, I do feel like it catches or something. You can hear it. So after some time I'll try to figure it out, but I don't see anything here yet. In terms of the sides, right here you can see the scraping right here, so we'll have to figure that out. So this portion right here, maybe it needs to be bent in a little bit, I'm not sure, but I'll try to figure something out. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try to do a time lapse of my first seasoning, and basically I'm just gonna use regular cooking oil. I'm not even sure what kind it is, but I'll do a few coats and let's see how it goes. Alright, so there's my 20-pound propane tank. Borrowed that from my patio heater, and you can see it fired up on the second churn knob. And basically the igniter is built in. You just turn it from the off position to this, and it should ignite. And then on high, I have it on low first to start because I've heard horror stories of these things, these top griddles warping, and I definitely don't want to deal with any of that. So I'm going to heat it up slowly for the first time at least until I become more comfortable with this. If I turn it on high, you can see the flames are significantly higher on the inside. So the right side is high and the left side is low. Not sure if it's coming out. So there it is. I have my first thin coat going right now. It's turning color. You can see it's still smoking quite a bit. So once this burns off, right now it's on high. Once this burns off, I'm going to put another thin layer. And the key is to put thin layers, otherwise it'll take a long time to burn off and you probably don't want to do that. I've also coated the outsides and the insides, like basically the whole top except for the bottom. So I've done the sides as well on the cooktop. So as soon as the smoke goes away, that's your cue to put on the next thin layer of oil. So right now the black in the middle looks really great, so we'll see how it turns out in a bit. Alright, I'm on my 5th or 6th coat now, and I'd like to just give a little tip. I do not recommend you using your hand and towel unless you have a heat and fireproof gloves, because it does get really hot. But I do like this setup with these cheapo tongs because I can lock this in to hold the paper towel so I don't have to squeeze. And I also put the towel at an angle so that I can, get to the nooks and crannies of this griddle top. So that's just a quick tip for me. Alright guys, so before I forget, I want to talk about some of the pros and cons about this Blackstone 22-inch Adventure Ready grill. I'm sorry, there's a motorcycle outside revving its engine. Alright, as it passes. So the reason why I chose this one is because obviously the size limitations I have in my patio. But, this does come with the tabletop stand, if you will, and the griddle top, and these alone are worth a lot of money for this grill. So if you want those things, you definitely want to buy it as a package. I got this for $177 out the door from Walmart. It's listed at $217, but when you check it out, It's on clearance, and I got it on tax-free day. The other reason why I like this is because it does come with the 2 connectors, one for the small propane tanks, the portable ones, and this adapter for the large 20-inch one. These legs are adjustable. As you can see, there are screws, so you can adjust the height independently for each one of these. So you'll always have a level tabletop depending on where your adventures take you. And the tabletop is all metal, steel, and is very sturdy. I thought it would have problems like with the slipping and sliding if this is too loose, but there are some grooves on these legs right here. You can kind of see it here, some grooves to kind of hold it in place and lock it into place. There's a nice shot, nice even burning in there. The H burners, dual H burners in there. One thing I'll tell you is if you're seasoning this, it does give a smell, so make sure you close your door if you're near your home. I do like that it's 2 burners. I know they have some smaller ones that are single burners. The other thing is you can take this off this tabletop and put it on a separate table if you will. One bad thing about this though is that when I close that door, it does scrape like I showed you guys earlier. This griddle top does not come off. Well, it comes off from this bottom burner, but there's no grate there for you to put like a pot in there so that you can boil water and all that stuff. Sure, you can use a cast iron on top of this and probably do it, but I wish it had included grates so that I can just put like a pot to stir fry or something like that. So those are some of the pros and cons of this and the reasons why I chose this one. I did come across a larger 36-inch for $200 in clearance. Would have been great 4-burner set. I just don't have the space for it because it would have been twice as big as this, I think, approximately. So all right, I'm going to continue seasoning it, but so far I can tell you my 5th or 6th coat, and I cannot get this left side to be black like that side, and the side walls as well are not turning too dark. I do notice the right side is hotter than the left side. Alright guys, it's super dark now. I've been doing this for about an hour and this is as good as it's gonna get, but I'm gonna wrap it up. This is how far I've gotten, or as much as I've achieved. It's a little glossy because of my lights out here, but you can see the right side looks super nice. You can actually see a coating, especially in the middle parts, but the edges don't look that great. So like I said, I'm gonna flip the griddle top around and hopefully get this side black as well, but that requires me to cool this off, and it's actually going to rain for like the next day, so I may not be able to get back to this until like later on the weekend, and I probably won't be able to use it for the first time until the weekend as well. One thing I want to let you guys know is these parts right here also get hot, so if I just aim it right there, you can see that's over 170 degrees Fahrenheit. So you definitely want to be careful. Make sure if there are any kids around, make sure they don't just touch this by accident, because these parts are hot. Even the hood is hot as well, so just be careful. All right, hopefully you found this video helpful. Hopefully it helped you make a good decision in terms of whether to buy this griddle or not, or to choose something else. But this is the conclusion of my seasoning attempt. First time griddle owner, first time seasoning cast iron, and this is how it came out. Alright, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye. I just turned off the griddle. And I thought it would be fun to see how quickly it drops in temperature. So now it's in the 520s. Dropping. It's dropping. It's dropping a few degrees per second. If you guys don't have one of these, they sell these on Amazon. I'll put a link in the description if you're interested in this one. And before I close the lid and go back inside, I put in a thin layer of oil. The burners are off already. I put a thin layer just to preserve it for next time, and to keep water off of it, or to fight as much of it off as possible. When this cools, I'm also going to put a cover over it because I'm expecting some rain.